winners? Let the pros show you how to make money. General Manager Al DeMarco, a regular contributor on Fox Sports, MSNBC, and Comcast Sports TV, brings over 25 years of handicapping experience to the table. CEO Steve Budin, the author of Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, is the man responsible for creating the online betting industry. Together, they lead PickNation.com, your #1 source for winners.
25 years as a professional sports handicapper, and I'm telling you, week 2 in the NFL season, I have always found to be the most difficult to make money. But sometimes history doesn't necessarily repeat itself in sports gambling, as week 1 certainly proved. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin, and welcome back once more to the Countdown to Kickoff show, the only nationally televised show to break down your NFL games every Sunday from a point spread perspective. And Steve, what I was referring to is that historically, I've always found that week number 1, you play the favorites, because the odds makers, I always have said, don't know any more about what to expect from these teams than you or I. But that was not the case, and maybe the opening night game last Wednesday between the Giants and the Cowboys, defending Super Bowl champions, opening up at home, laying 3.5, losing outright, was a precursor to what was going to happen, because the favorites went 7-9 last week. The home favorites went 5-6, and I mean, you had the Saints and the Giants, the Raiders all losing outright. I mean, that is not good news, because as we know, historically, gamblers love those chalks.
And one of the other things we talked about was the theme this year of so many elite quarterbacks in the NFL. And we saw that translate into overs. 9 overs in week 1, so obviously the odds makers are going to have to adjust now.
Absolutely. I mean, you had the high-scoring contest, and Steve said the odds makers always adjust and overinflate the lines, and that's a trap in week number 2, and that's why I've always found that week 2 is the toughest in college football and in the NFL. Guys, as I said, I've been a professional sports handicapper for 25 years. I got my start originally as a sports reporter, so I used the experience gained from covering teams, players, on the field, in the locker rooms, and that really is my handicapping philosophy. Steve Budin, on the other hand, different side of the fence, literally, because this is the guy that created what you all know as the offshore sportsbook industry. So you'll have a different perspective when we break down these games.
Right, and I have an opinion just like you, and you can listen to me on the radio or TV, but when it comes to putting my money on the line, that's when I exercise a little discipline and use my sources. Sources that I have and nobody else has, and we saw that last week. We came right out of the box with the Baltimore Crew, a monster 50-dime play on the Jets. Nobody had the Jets. Everybody was on the Bills, except the Baltimore Crew, me and you, and we won. And later in the show, we're going to tell you how you can get the Baltimore's Crew play again this week absolutely free.
Right, let's get it going, though, with the first game on the board. And FYI, last week, the double-digit favorites, the 2 biggest board chalks, they, of course, naturally covered. I gave them to you as a free pick. Big deal. I didn't bet either one of them. That's the problem. But, hey, first game. We talked about the Giants opening up the season at home, defending Super Bowl champions, losing outright to the Cowboys. Now they're laying 7.5 at home to Tampa, a Tampa Bay squad that pulled off the upset in Greg Schiano's debut, knocking off Carolina 16-10 at home, a game that they were up 13-0 at halftime and allowed Carolina to make a comeback, but they played well in that contest. But I think this is a game where if Tampa Bay had lost, the Giants had won, the Giants would be laying 12.5 here. I think if Tampa Bay had won and the Giants had won, the Giants would be laying 10 here. I look at 7.5, I see value.
And I go one step further. Had the Giants beat the Cowboys, I think this would be a great spot for a letdown for the Giants, where they would come in here against the Tampa Bay and just not get up for the game. However, having lost to the Cowboys, they're obviously in front of their home crowd for the second time. There's no way they're going to lose this game. I like Big Blue here.
Hey, and listen, the Giants, you know, offensively, I mean, Eli had an okay game against the Cowboys, and Bradshaw had a decent game running, but they only had 269 net yards in total offense. But defensively, the Cowboys shredded them, 433 yards. Tampa doesn't have the Cowboys receiver corps. Tampa has Josh Freeman, does not have Troy Aikman. Well, actually, doesn't have Troy. They need Troy Aikman. Even at his age, coming out of the booth, he'd probably do better than Josh Freeman. But that's the bottom line. I mean, I just don't see them competing. There's some nice things with Tampa. I mentioned last week they're surrounding Freeman with some nice parts. Doug Martin, 95 yards for the rookie running back. They got Vincent Jackson, the receiver, but I think the Giants roll. And, Steve, as you alluded to earlier, you can get my best bet today, your best bet from the Baltimore Crew that's 40-19 the past 5 years combined. You can get all our plays for free today at picknation.com simply by using the one-day all-access pass, which is unique in this business.
No one else does it because they don't want you to see behind the curtain. Us, on the other hand, we created the internet platform to be transparent right from the beginning. We understand there's a lot of guys on the fence out there that have never bought a pick. They've been watching the show for a while. Now they're ready. This is a great opportunity for them to get all of our picks absolutely free, and then they can make their decisions next week.
Guys, you're talking about $500-600 of action if you bought all the plays of the handicapper separately. You get them all for free. Picknation.com, one-day all-access pass, and free truly does mean free here at picknation.com. Next game is New England and Arizona. Gee, surprising. The Patriots a 14-point chalk in this one.
Didn't take the odds makers long to catch up to New England.
I mean, 34-13 rout at Tennessee, and they got a running back, Ridley. 21 carries, 125 yards. That makes Tom Brady all the more dangerous, and I like the fact that the Patriots defense, being rebuilt, held Tennessee to 284 net yards in that contest.
Well, I told you last week not to pay too much attention to the problems that the Patriots were having in the preseason. Come regular season, Belichick and Brady were going to be ready. Now, I didn't know Ridley was going to be ready and he was going to gain 125 yards. I didn't know Brandon Lloyd was going to be ready and he was going to make 5 catches. New England has a bunch of weapons. They're going to be tough to handle. I don't think Arizona can keep up with them. I would lay the wood here.
Yeah, Kevin Cobb, John Skelton, I don't care. They can bring back Kurt Warner. And that probably would be a good thing to do. Yeah, they're not going to be able to hold here. But, hey, listen, in the Patriots side, we have to point out 7-8 against the spread, their last 15 at home. But then again, Arizona 6-11, their last 17 against the spread on the highway. Hey, Steve, we're going to get to New Orleans, Carolina. Can the Saints rebound? And Panthers, too, in just a moment. But let's talk about DraftStreet.com. Every week, guys, run a free Fantasy Football League contest, $300 of my money at stake. And, guys, you get to play for it. The top 15 finish in the money. Steve, this is like nirvana for us because it's not like old-fashioned fantasy leagues. We had to wait till January to decide it. It's decided after the Monday night game. The league competition is over and it's a free entry.
It's instant gratification. This isn't the game of your grandmother anymore. Now you're going to play every single week. You're going to draft every single week, and you're going to get a chance to win money each and every single week. Me, I didn't do so well. I was somewhere around 100. Al, you did a lot better. My son entered the contest. He was around 50. Jace is awesome. Give him a little shout out. And but for me, I'm going to have to find a crew to help me with this.
And guys, free entry, $300 of my money at stake. Click on the ads here at picknation.com. It's the Draft Street Fantasy Football Contest. I run it every week. By the way, I finished 8th. He finished 99th last week.
Inside of 100.
Guys, we're going to be back in just a moment, taking a look at the Panthers, Saints, and all the rest of your NFL action. How would you like to save $20 off a single purchase today? That's right, $20 off the top of the single purchase today online at our site. All you got to do, guys, is simply enter this coupon code, and you'll see it right here at the bottom of the screen as well. Week 2. W-E-E-K and the number 2. No space between week and 2. You enter week 2 when prompted in your shopping cart. You will save $20 off a single purchase today. Remember, guys, not only do I do the Countdown to Kickoff show here along with Steve Budin, but every single day I do a daily video report where I offer you money-saving discount codes that can save you big dollars off your purchases, short-term and long-term here online. Plus, I have the $5 Play of the Week promotion, the Charity Play of the Week promotion, where we help others and make a greater good out of gambling. Again, today, your money-saving discount coupon code for Sunday, save $20 off a single purchase, and that is simply going to be Week 2, W-E-E-K-2. Enter it when prompted in your shopping cart. How would you like to get my best bet today? Steve's top service crew bet and all the plays of all the handicappers at picknation.com. $500-600 of action, absolutely free. Sounds too good to be true, but in reality, it is the fact. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin at picknation.com. We created something years ago called the All-Day Access Pass, and we are making it available to you free today.
Well, this is something that we do that no one else does, and let's be honest. No one else wants you to see what they do. They want you to pay first because they want that money. They know you're never coming back again. Us, the exact opposite. We want to show you everything. It's our gamble to show you everything so that you do come back again.
Exactly, guys. It's a free one-day all-access pass. No strings attached. There is nothing more. What you see is what you get. All the plays, all the handicappers, $500-600 worth of value for free. and it's exclusively available at picknation.com. You have nothing to lose except a chance to get our plays for free.